What's up, everyone? We're going to be going to the best NBA player props on PrizePicks today. Now, don't forget to like this video, as it does let me know to continue to give you free picks every day. So make sure to like this video, clicking that button down below. And if we get 400 likes, I will do another video for picks for tomorrow. Now, I also did want to show you the results from yesterday's picks from my exclusive Discord group. And as you guys see, we actually got 20 picks correct, which was absolutely insane. So we are on a huge hot streak. But if you want to get 20 picks right like me, win more bets, and receive the best picks from some of the best bettors in the world for less than a cup of coffee, you can access the exclusive Discord and meet some of the best sport bettors in the game by joining my Patreon, which will be linked down below in the description. Once you join, you'll have complete access to the Discord and can start winning more bets today. So make sure you join my Patreon using the link in the description. And here's one of our members who just signed up and won himself $400 just yesterday, and another member who won $310 for the 5th day in a row since joining my Discord. So guys, if you want to win big money like our members, the link will be in the description, so go join the Patreon to have access to the Discord group. And I will be continuing to upload every single day on this channel the best bets and props, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss my daily uploads. So quick shout to Ramon Leon 127, who said let's go with the smiley emoji. So shouts out to him, and if you do want to win a shout out in the next video, all you have to do is comment down below in this video and like it, and you can be in the running to win a shout out in the next one. All right, so let's get straight into the first pick. And when it comes to these picks, I'm not saying to chuck all of them into a parlay and hope for the best. Pick and choose the ones that you like and the ones that work best for you. So the first pick we're going to be talking about is none other than PJ Washington, and this one is for 7.5 rebounds, and this one actually is for less. Now, looking at PJ Washington, we actually have seen him go on the under in 2 out of the last 5 games. Now, thankfully, now all the 5 games are actually from this season, so we do see October 23rd faced off against San Antonio Spurs, had 5 rebounds there. Then October 25th faced off against Washington. We actually saw him have 9 rebounds in that matchup. October 27th faced off against Toronto, had 7 rebounds, then 9 rebounds against Oklahoma City Thunder on October 28th, and then 11 rebounds against Indiana on October 30th. So definitely interesting for actually PJ Washington. Now, when it comes to PJ Washington and Dallas, they do have themselves a very good matchup against the Detroit Pistons. Now, it is definitely going to be an exciting game for sure. And when we look at actually Detroit Pistons and Dallas, we do see that starting off with Dallas ranking wise, Dallas have actually had a pretty slow start to the season because they find themselves in the 12th spot in the Western Conference. Now, not only are they in the 12th spot in the Western Conference, but they also have a record of 2 wins and 3 losses. That's a 40% win percentage as well. And on top of that, they are 2-3 from home, 0-0 from away. So definitely been tough for Dallas, and when it comes to their matchup, Detroit find themselves in somewhat of a better position, as Detroit do rank 5th in the Eastern Conference and have a record of 3 wins and 2 losses. So that's a 60% win percentage there. On top of that, we also see that they're 2-1 from home, 1-1 from away, and are currently on a 1-game win streak. So definitely interesting to see there. Now, looking at this matchup more in depth, looking at actually first off Detroit when it comes to their defense, especially defensively when it comes to rebounds, it is pretty interesting to see, because although Detroit have had a great start to the season so far, we also do find that when it comes to Detroit Pistons, they rank 17th when it comes to rebounds allowed. So they actually don't really rank too high when it comes to rebounds allowed. However, the reason why we still do like the under for this situation here is that when we look on a per position basis, we do see a little bit of a different story, because we actually see that Detroit do a fantastic job at restricting actually rebounds to the forward position. So for that reason, we do very much like the under for this one for PJ Washington. Now, PJ also hasn't really had the highest usage rate, especially against tougher teams. When he does face off against tougher teams and rebounds, he definitely does struggle. And although PJ Washington definitely does have, a great sort of, I would say, usage rate in this department, it's definitely a little bit more less when it comes to tougher teams. So we definitely like the under for this one. So definitely keep an eye out for someone like PJ Washington coming into this game. When we look at what the bookies are saying, bookies also have him favored for the under as well. So it works out in our favor there. So for that reason, PJ Washington, 7.5 rebounds for less, I think is a fantastic pick. Now, getting into the next one, we're actually going to be talking about another great player, and that is none other than Rudy Gobert. So Rudy Gobert, great player, and this one is actually for points and assists. So this one is actually a combo one for 12.5, and this one actually is for less. Now, looking at Rudy Gobert, we've actually seen him go in the under in 4 out of the last 5 games. So very, very interesting to see there. Now, not only has he gone on the under in 4 out of the last 5, we saw on October 23rd, faced off against Portland, had 10 points and assists there. October 25th, faced off against LA Lakers, had 4 points and assists there. Then 15 P&A against Indiana on October 27th. Then against Denver on October 28th, had 9 points and assists. And then 11 points and assists against LA Lakers on October 30th. So definitely has been interesting to see there. Now looking at someone like Rudy Gobert, and also the matchup, Minnesota face off against none other than the Charlotte Hornets. Now looking at where these teams do rank, starting off with Minnesota Timberwolves, we see that they rank 11th in the Western Conference. Now they have a record of 2 wins and actually 3 losses, 40% win percentage, and on top of that, they are 1-2 from home, 1-1 from away. So, very interesting to see there. Now, obviously, they do also have a 2-game losing streak, so it's definitely been a little bit tough for Minnesota. But we do know they face off against a team, which is Charlotte Hornets, and Charlotte find themselves in a bit of a tough position as well, because they actually rank 10th in the actual Eastern Conference. So, they have a record of 2 wins and 3 losses. That's a 40% win percentage. They are also 1-1 from home, 1-2 from away, and are currently on a 2-game losing streak as well. So, definitely been a little bit tough for them there. Now, when we look at this matchup, we do also see that Rudy Gobert and Minnesota face off against Charlotte. And Charlotte, when it comes to actually first starting off with points allowed, we see that Charlotte Hornets do actually rank surprisingly. They rank 28th, and then assist allowed. We also do see that Charlotte Hornets do rank, in this category, not the best, but they also rank 28th there. So why do we like the under for this situation here? And the big reason being is that when we actually look at Charlotte Hornets, they also do a fantastic job at restricting points and assists to the center position. So when you look on a center position or a per position basis, we do actually see Charlotte actually do a great job. But another reason being is that Rudy Gobert's usage rate has been very, very low in the points and assist department. It's been significantly low. We've also seen him go on the under, especially against easier matchups, and that's why coming into this next one, we definitely do like the under once again for someone like Rudy Gobert. So we definitely see his usage rate being a major factor for this as well, not just the defense, and that's why we definitely do like the under for this one. So Rudy Gobert, 12.5 points and assists for less, I think is a fantastic pick. Now, getting into the next one, we're actually going to be talking about none other than Josh Okogie. So Josh Okogie, great player, and this one is for 3.5 rebounds, and this one is for less. Now, looking at Josh, we actually have seen him go on the under in 4 out of the last 5 games. Now, 4 of these games are actually from this season, but we do see October 22nd, faced off against OKC, had 2 rebounds there. October 25th, faced off against Detroit, had 4 rebounds in that matchup. Then 0 rebounds against Brooklyn on October 28th, and then October 30th, faced off against Toronto and had 1 rebound there. So very, very interesting to see there. Now looking at someone like Josh Okogie, not only has he gone on the under in 3 out of the last 4 games pretty much, we also do see that Houston have themselves a matchup against the Boston Celtics. Now looking at where both these teams do lie, starting off with the Houston Rockets. The Houston Rockets haven't really gotten off to the greatest start. They actually find themselves in a position where they are 9th in the Western Conference. So they have 2 wins, 2 losses, and on top of that, they also have a 50% win percentage, which is interesting to see. Now, on top of that, we also do see that they are 1-1 from home, 1-1 from away. So, pretty much a very, very even record. They are on a 2-game win streak as well. And they face off against the Boston Celtics, where the Boston Celtics, surprisingly, haven't really done that, poorly, even though they are expected, or weren't expected to do that great. They find themselves in the 6th spot in the Eastern Conference. They currently have a record of 3 wins and 3 losses. That's a 50% win percentage, 1-1 from home, 2-2 from away as well. So very interesting to see there. Now, looking at this, we do very, very much like this situation for someone like Josh Okogie, because when we actually look at Josh Okogie and also the matchup, which is the Boston Celtics, we do actually see that Boston Celtics do still rank pretty decent, as they rank 12th when it it comes to rebounds allowed. So they still rank very, very good, and I do believe that when it actually comes to Josh Okogie, we do very much still like the under, as Boston Celtics not only rank very well, but they also rank very well when it comes to, actually restricting rebounds to the guard position, which is what Josh Okogie is. So that's why coming into this one, we do very, very much like the under for this one. Now, looking at also Boston, we do know that Boston has definitely been not only just active on the boards, but they do like to play a little bit more of a slower paced game. And as we all know, slower paced teams leads to less volume, and less volume leads to less, rebounds, scoring, and also even assists. So that's why overall, we still do very much like the under for someone like Josh Okogie. As we mentioned before, when we look at what the bookies are saying, bookies also have him favored for the under as well, which I think is fantastic to see. So Josh Okogie, 3.5 rebounds for less. I think he's a fantastic pick. So as you all know, I do want to get these picks out to you as soon as possible, but PrizePicks is delayed with some of their lines. So here are a couple of players you should definitely watch out for when their lines drop. So the first we're going to be talking about is none other than Ryan Rollins. So Ryan Rollins, great player from none other than Milwaukee Bucks, and we have seen him do a fantastic job so far this season, averaging 18.6 points, 3.6 rebounds, 5 assists, and also had a 52.4% field goal percentage. So he's definitely done a fantastic job there for the Milwaukee Bucks, and the Bucks have been in a pretty good position so far, and we do know that they face off against none other than actually the Sacramento Kings coming into this next game. Now, looking at where both these teams do lie, starting off with the Kings, we do actually see that Sacramento find themselves in the 14th spot in the actual Western Conference. So they've definitely struggled. Not only that, but they also have a record of 1 win and 4 losses. That's a 20% win percentage. And on top of that, they are also 1-1 from home and 0-3 from away. Now, they are currently on a 3-game losing streak as well, so has been very, very tough for the Kings, and they face off against the Milwaukee Bucks, where the Bucks rank 3rd in the Eastern Conference and have a record of 4 wins and 1 loss. So they have an 80% win percentage, 3-0 from home, 1-1 from away, and are currently on a 2-game win streak. So very good for Milwaukee Bucks so far. A lot of people thought when they did lose Damian Lillard, they weren't going to be the best, but they have done very good so far this season. Now, looking at the Bucks and also this matchup against Sacramento, we do see that when it comes to Sacramento Kings find themselves in a position where when it comes to points allowed, we actually do see that Sacramento ranks 16th, so they don't really rank too well there. We also do see when it comes to assists allowed, they rank 20th, and then rebounds allowed, we also do see that the Kings don't really rank too well as well in this position, as they do rank 25th. So they rank very low in points, rebounds, and assists, and that's why coming into this next game, we do very much like the over for someone like Ryan Rollins for whether it's points, rebounds, or assists. We don't really think you need to focus on any. We see a lot of value there to go on the over, especially with the way, that Ryan Rollins has been playing and also the way Kings defense has been going so far. They really have struggled, and we are expecting Ryan to be able to take advantage of this. Now, looking at the last, 5 games from Ryan, we actually saw on the 23rd faced off against Washington, had a 133-120 win there with actually 9 points, 3 assists, and 4 rebounds. Then on the 25th faced off against Toronto, had a 122-116 win with 13 points, 2 assists, and 5 rebounds. Then on the 27th, faced off against Cleveland, had a 118-111 loss with 14 points, 8 assists, and 4 rebounds there. And 25 points, 4 assists, 2 rebounds with a 121-111 win against New York Knicks on the 29th. And then beat also the Golden State Warriors on the 31st with a 120-110 win with 32 points, 8 assists, and 3 rebounds there. So Ryan Rollins has definitely had himself some really, really good games, and has definitely have increased as the season kind of goes by. Now, coming into this one, as we mentioned, we do believe that Sacramento Kings' poor defense is definitely going to be a bit of a struggle for them, which is why we do very much like the over for this situation here for someone like Ryan Rollins. Now, I don't think you need to focus on any. I think points, rebounds, and assists all definitely have the capability to go on the over. So definitely keep an eye out for Ryan and his line. See a lot of value there to go on the over, especially if the line is under his averages. Now, getting into the next player, we're going to be talking about Miles Bridges. So, Miles Bridges, great players we all know from none other than the Charlotte Hornets. And he's done a fantastic job, actually, averaging 18.2 points, 6.6 rebounds, 3 assists, and also had a 39.5% field goal percentage. So, he's definitely done a fantastic job there for Charlotte Hornets. Now, when we look at Charlotte, they have themselves a very, very good matchup against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Now, it is going to be an exciting game, but looking at Minnesota Timberwolves and also Charlotte, starting off with Charlotte, we do see that the Hornets do rank 10th in the Eastern Conference. They have a record of 2 wins and 3 losses. That's a 40% win percentage. And on top of that, they're also 1-1 from home, 1-2 from away, and are currently on a 2-game losing streak. And they face off against the Timberwolves, where Timberwolves do rank 11th in the Western Conference and have a record of 2 wins and 3 losses. Now, they have a 40% win percentage as well. They're also 1-2 from home, 1-1 from away, and also are on a 2-game losing streak. So both these teams have been on a little bit more, I would say, on the lower side of the actual rankings. So it's definitely been tough for both these teams, but both are definitely trying their best. Now, looking at this matchup more in depth, looking at actually Minnesota Timberwolves, we do see Timberwolves ranked 19th when it comes to points allowed, 19th when it comes to assists allowed, and then rebounds allowed. We also do see that when it comes to Timberwolves, they also rank 11th. So it is definitely very interesting to see. Now, looking at actually, someone like Miles Bridges, he is a great player, does have a great usage rate in all 3 departments. Now, we do very much like the over for this situation here, but I would strictly focus a little bit more on points than anything else. Now, a big reason being for that is that when we actually look at Miles Bridges, we also do see that when it comes to the Charlotte Hornets and Timberwolves matchup, Timberwolves also do struggle at restricting points to the forward position. So we definitely see that points being a little bit more of having that slider bit higher edge than rebounds and assists. But I still do think rebounds and assists is definitely going to have its place. I think it's still going to be a very, very good, pick. So I do definitely see that Miles Bridges has definitely been in a pretty good position. And I definitely see someone like Miles Bridges going on the over. But, I think points is something I would somewhat focus on and see where the line does end up at. Now, looking at his last 5 games, we saw on the 23rd faced off against Brooklyn, had a 136-117 win. Also had 18 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists. Then on the 26th, faced off against Philly, had a 125-121 loss with 18 points, 7 assists, 9 rebounds there. Then had 22 points, 3 assists, 4 rebounds against Washington, or 139-113 win on the 27th. And then on the 29th, faced off against Miami, had a 144-117 loss with 17 points, 1 assist, and 4 rebounds. And 16 points, 5 rebounds, 0 assists with a 123-107 loss with against Orlando. So it was definitely, a bit of a mix when it comes to their wins and losses. But when you look at the stats of Miles Bridges, one stat he definitely remains very high when it comes to usage rate is that points department. He's a high volume scorer, and we are expecting him to do, somewhat of what he's done in those other games to actually Timberwolves as well. So for that reason, we definitely do like the over for someone like Miles Bridges. So definitely keep an eye out for his line. I see a lot of value there to go on the over, especially if the line is under his averages. So definitely keep an eye out for it. Now, looking at the next player, we're going to be talking about CJ McCollum. So, CJ McCollum, great player from none other than Washington Wizards. Now, he's done a fantastic job so far this season, actually averaging 14.4 points, 3.4 rebounds, 4.2 assists, while also shooting 36.4% from the field. So, he's done a great job for Washington Wizards, and Wizards find themselves in a matchup against Orlando Magic. Now, looking at both of these teams and where they do rank, starting off with actually the Wizards. Wizards currently ranked 13th in the Eastern Conference, actually have 1 win and 4 losses. And they also have a 20% win percentage, are also 0-2 from home, 1-2 from away, and are currently on a 3-game losing streak. Now, they face off against Orlando Magic, and when we look at Magic, we also do see that Orlando find themselves in the 12th spot in the Eastern Conference. They actually have a record of 2 wins and 4 losses, 33.3% win percentage, and also 1-2 from home and 1-2 from away. So they've definitely done a fantastic job there. Now, looking at the Wizards and also the Magic and looking at the matchup there, we do also see when it comes to both of these teams that, looking defensively at Magic, we see that when it comes to points allowed, we actually find out that Magic rank pretty poorly as a rank 20th, so not really the greatest there. When we look at assists allowed, they rank 15th, and then rebounds allowed, we also do see that Magic also, rank, I would say, somewhat decent, but they still do rank pretty low as they rank 13th. So still a little bit better in that rebounding department, but for someone like CJ McCollum, we do actually like the over for this situation here, but strictly just for points and assists. And that's strictly due to the fact that when we actually look at Orlando, they do struggle a little bit more on points and assists, and on top of that, CJ does have a higher usage rate in that points and assists department. So for that reason, we do very, very much like the over for this one. And looking at someone like CJ McCollum, we do also see that when it comes to Washington Wizards, he has been, a very good scorer and, playmaker for this team. Now, looking at CJ McCollum over the last 5 games, we do see some interesting ones. We saw on the 23rd faced off against Milwaukee, also had a 133-120 loss there with 9 points, 3 assists, 6 rebounds there. Then on the 25th faced off against Dallas, had a 117-107 win with 6 points, 5 assists, and 2 rebounds. Then 24 points, 5 assists, and 6 rebounds with a 139-113 loss against Charlotte on the 27th, and 14 points, 7 assists, 1 rebounds against Philly with a 134 overtime loss on the 29th, and then on the 31st faced off against OKC with a 127-108 loss with 19 points, 1 assist, and 2 rebounds there. So definitely been a very, very interesting, game for CJ McCollum, and that's why coming into this matchup, we do very, very much like the over for it. We definitely see someone of CJ McCollum's caliber to be able to go on the over due to the fact that he has been, a high-level scorer for this team. So for that reason, we definitely are sticking to the over for someone like him. And also, definitely keep an eye out for assists as well. I see a lot of value in both of those departments, more than I do when it comes to rebounds for sure.